This is Teslagrad. It's a 2D puzzle platformer based on magnetism, where we manipulate that magnetic system in order to uh, do specific tricks. In the beginning of this game, we immediately will load in and then save and quit in order to skip the initial cutscene. The first about 2 minutes and 20 seconds of this run are mostly based on movement optimization. Here you'll see me jumping so that I will land on the downward slopes. That will give me a slight momentum boost. There are only two tricks within this first section. The first is a late jump, which will be coming up, which will allow me to jump off this platform and land on these scales. And that will save about 8 seconds because I won't land on the bottom, and then I won't have to climb up that vine, which takes quite a bit of time. There's one other late jump in this section, and then a momentum boost that we utilize. So the key portion of this game is utilizing the magnet physics engine, which I started to go into a little bit before. You'll be able to have two different polarities, red and blue. You can think of it as positive and negative poles of a magnet, and you will, throughout this time, gain different items that will allow you to manipulate those magnetic fields. The key things to note are that it is literally just positive and negative. Opposites attract, and similar ones repel. And we utilize this would be the late jump, by the way. And here's the momentum boost going right here. We jump off of this and gives us the slight boost. Back to what I was saying about the magnet physics, we utilize the repulsion in order to basically gain momentum and go faster. We'll be coming up on the first part where it actually uses magnetism very shortly. So right into this next room right here, we'll have a spider, which we can then touch, and it will charge us with that color of magnetism. In this case, it's blue, which allows us to jump up and float. We'll be collecting these scrolls. We have to collect 15 of them in order to complete the game in any percent. There are 36 in total. And then we're going to use this same spider in order to do the first real trick. And we're going to jump up and utilize the blue magnetism charge to pull up the red box. We're going to get our first item right now. It's the magnetic gloves. Fancy name, I know. And that will allow us to charge different items with magnetism, including a couple of enemies. So here you see blue to red, blue to red, red to red, red to blue, red to blue. You pull them up and they attract. Here you'll see we're going to use the same thing with the charge, and we're going to, as a box, and we're going to pull up this platform and jump up here to skip over a small extra section. This next room is extremely precise movements if done well. And it will allow you to early cycle this spider and not get hit by it, which I did in this case. Again, we utilize that magnetism in order to jump over that without having to pull down that bridge. That was unintentional, by the way. In this next room, we're going to be flying on a platform, and by moving in specific ways on this platform, we can get it so that we don't have to grab onto that ledge in order to collect this scroll, saving us fractions of a second. Gotta save the frames. This is the first boss, Furnace. He's relatively simple and but uh easily messed up, and you can lose a lot of time on him. You basically we're going to be charging each of the boxes with the blue magnetism, and uh, he'll be sucking them up into his mouth. After he sucks up 3 of them, he'll do this attack, and um, then rinse and repeat with the conveyor belt moving a little bit faster. He'll do that a total of 3 times, so we have to have him suck up 9 total boxes in this fight in order to complete it. There are a couple of interesting things you can do with this fight that kind of require a lot of RNG luck, but also skill, of course. And you won't see any of them in this run, I believe, but basically you would stack up 2 of the boxes on top of one another, and then charge both of them with blue magnetism or red magnetism, doesn't really matter, and it will just shoot up right into his mouth because they'll repel off of one each other, and the top one will shoot up. We're going to be collecting the blink boots, which will allow us to dash, essentially. We're going to pause buffer that as well so that it animation cancels it. Pause buffer, just animation cancel. We'll jump on top of this guy's head and, you know, jump up there. Not very clean. Balloon boots are extremely important in this run. They allow you to pretty much do anything having to do with speed, for obvious reasons. Now we're going to be using the flower, which does the same thing as the spiders in order to get up here. And then this box room is a puzzle, but we can just get up there pretty easily and get through this. This right here is actually my favorite trick in the game. It's not the hardest or most glorious, but it just feels extremely smooth when pulled off exactly like that. The next boss we'll be going against is Faradaeus. It's a cage bird, and we'll be doing a boss skip on him by utilizing a glitch we call the Ghost Ledge. The Ghost Ledge allows us to grab onto a vine where there is no vine, or ledge where there is no ledge, and then dropping down at the right time in order to allow one of his moves, which is a wind wall, to push us out of bounds and into the next loading zone. It's a very precise trick. I'm not going to say frame perfect because I don't think it is, but there's a small window of time to be able to do it. Being able to do that on the first try is extremely difficult. Here we're grabbing the cloak. That allows us to basically do what the spiders and flowers did ourselves and charge ourselves with blue or red magnetism. In that run, we had a perfect momentum right there by utilizing that the first momentum trick, boosting down. Um, that allowed us to do that. This is the forge skip. By blinking at a specific angle, we're able to jump up to this section and then clip through this gate and skip over a solid minute and a half section of this game. This is the bull skip. Um, this is also a relatively old route. By jumping up there, we're actually losing a little bit of time, but we need to pick up another scroll. We've actually replaced that with a different scroll at this point. But here's the bull skip. Go up there, and we jump over this puzzle, skipping it entirely, which is very convenient. This is notoriously one of the hardest puzzles of the game. Takes people a lot of time to understand, and we're just going to jump into this pillar right here and blink up. Well, hook up. The next boss we'll be facing is Oleg. He's some people call him Santa because he looks like an angry Russian Santa. And in order to fight him, we'll be obviously not going the traditional slow route, but rather we'll stand right in front of him and just reflect his bullets straight back into him with our cloak. The first two phases are predictable. The third one is RNG, so we pause buffer that one, and we'll show you that. Its third hit will be the pause buffer. So it's blue, so we use the blue cloak as we unpause, and it reflects right back into him and hits him in the face. This is the hamster ball section. It's probably the most fun section in the game, utilizing the momentum of the cloak and magnets in order to propel the ball faster. There are two big skips in this section. Not big, but two skips in this section, and one of them will be coming up in about 6 seconds. Right here, we're going to try to jump onto this ball. Really? There we go. Got up on top of it. Normally, you would get that first try. Hopefully. And then right here, we're going to just forget the ball completely and just jump up there. This part, if done right, looks absolutely amazing, and it just looks like the ball is flying through the air and feels like it. This is where the route change will be. from this to a future run. Instead of collecting the scroll right after the forge skip, we'll collect a scroll in this room, which will be slightly faster. This is Richard. We call him Richard because he is a dick and slows down this run. You notice how there is, well, as of right now, no way to skip over this portion, and he just walks back and forth, and you have to wait for him to get over to this end where I'm currently standing. It's a pain in the ass. And one of the rooms that we are actively looking to skip. Nothing fancy in these rooms. In the, not this room, but the next one, that is the uh electric ball maze is what I've always called it. It's the protective father scroll next to it, and people have historically had a lot of trouble with this on a playthrough. Right after this portion, after the maze is complete, we're going to just keep on flying right into the ceiling and clip through that wall. Ceiling. Hopefully relatively fast. There we go. Save and quit in order to reload above there. And then fly up, and there's a lot of climbing left here. But we'll be collecting the electric gun, which is kind of like our gloves except a gun, and allows us to charge everything with magnetism, and we can actually kill things with it at that point, which we'll use against this next boss, Gueric's Orb, which is by far my favorite boss fight of this game. It's extremely clean and utilizes every mechanic very, very well of this. The gun is the last item that we collect, so, and this is the second to last boss. That part right there, RNG manipulation, clearly.
we'll be coming up on the last of the 15 scrolls right now, and the door that needs to be opened with those 15 scrolls.
So this is going to teleport us to the old castle or a different castle. Not really sure where it goes. But normally I actually am unable to talk during this section because I'm too busy counting the number of blinks in order to kill the things that would be coming at me. I forgot to mention the dead dad there. That dad in the beginning of the game is now dead below us. He died in this passageway when trying to come kill the king. So rip dad. Hello Oleg again, helping me out for the second time this game. Thank you. He had a change of heart after you beat him and decides to help you rather than the king. The only thing left in this game is to beat the last boss, the king, who is the tyrannical ruler of this world, and he killed your family and entire organization of people around you. This boss comes in 3 cycles, and those 3 cycles are RNG, up to 3 sub-cycles, 3 attacks per one of these cycles. So this is 1 attack. And see what he does. This is a 2nd attack. So we have 2 out of the 3 potential and 3 out of the 3 potential attacks so far from this boss. The minimum amount of sub-cycles that you can have is 1, and the maximum is 9, or maximum is 3. So you can have a total of 3 or a total of 9, or anywhere in between there. And that's the final RNG. Each extra cycle is an additional 6 to 8 seconds lost. That was only a single cycle, which is good. So this is we're going on to the 3rd phase. And now this is the last of the.
Now he's dead. You go behind him, shoot him one last time, and he gets sucked into his crown. And that's pretty much the end of the game. There's another 40 seconds of walking, but that's about it. Oh, and a cat. Cat and gold. Lots of gold. And random cat, who nobody really understands. Except for the people who created this game, Rain Games. When I asked them about it, I got a picture of a cat in the Tesla kids clothing, and it said even cats want to go on an adventure. And that is Teslagrad. Thanks for watching.